everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ivan, for inviting me to this team building. It's my great honor to see everyone here. Okay, so I'd like to start my sharing with some introduction about myself. Okay, so my name is John, and I'm currently a chartered engineer of IET. I obtained my chartered engineer status in year 2015. And then, so before that, I was working in UK after I graduated my master's studies. Then I continued to pursue my PhD. I think I completed my PhD in year 2014, which I was working on a research on the industry relevant topic at the Queen's University Belfast. Spent about 3 years. Design and fabricating MEM sensors for tire pressure monitoring system. So I managed to graduate on time, and then after I finished my PhD, then I come back to Malaysia in year 2014. Okay, so just a bit about my background. Okay, so this is my career path. It might be different compared to all of you, right? So just a reference, because I graduated as an electrical and electronic engineer. Then I started my first job as a process development engineer, where I worked in the manufacturing line and also R&D environment. So I apply what I have learned during my degree studies and master studies. Then I continue on my PhD studies and graduated in year 2014. Then I moved on and I decided to do something different. Trying something new compared to the industry side. I went into academic line. So I worked as a lecturer in year 2014 at UCSI University, and then I was promoted as a head of department in year 2018. So that's my journey in the university. It was my great opportunity and also honor to to teach the students. I teach different courses from year 1 until year 4, starting from circuit theory. I believe most of you from electronic background knows about circuit theory, and I was tutoring on the maths subject as well, and also teaching year 3, year 4 subjects, including VLSI design and also instrumentation and measurement. So during this time, I also a head of department in the academic line. So I managed about 20 lecturers and a few technicians. So it was a great exposure to myself, started my leadership and management journey. Then I decided to come back to Penang. So I go back into industry again. So this is the job that linked back to what I have done during my PhD time, which is MEM sensors. So I was working as more towards customer engagement engineers, where I need to manage different projects and also liaise with internal and also customer to ensure that we can deliver the projects on time. So there's a lot of technical discussion weekly basis with customers across the globe, from UK, US, Europe, Asia countries as well. So it was a really great experience. Then, so until my recent job, I have moved on to in this slightly different field, but still in engineering, which is advanced packaging. So from the front end of the fabrication, I'm moving on to the slightly back end of the fabrication, this engineering. So more on the packaging side, but it's more towards the next generation of packaging, right? Which they call as a 2D packaging and also 3D packaging. So currently, I'm working as a engineering group leader. Currently, I am managing about 6 to 7 engineers, and probably by next year time, the numbers will be double. Okay, because of the different phase of the factory, because it's going to be from startup until the high volume manufacturing. Okay, so that's just to share a bit about background about my industry experience. Okay, Okay, so how about my volunteering in professional body, right? I'm not only involved in IET, I'm also involved in some different NGO as well. So started from IET, I started as this committee member from YPS in 2014. I think that is the first time which I'm exposed to IET and also YPS. So I started to slowly take up some small activities. I think that time we have this present around the world before the COVID. So I have been organizing present around the world for about three times during my term under the YPS session, because now I already exceed the age limit, so no longer qualified to be part of YPS. But I still want to continue on. Hopefully, I can motivate and inspire you, to this journey. So apart from the YPS, I also move on to technical network IoT, serving for 3 years, and then currently I'm also in the main committee of IET Malaysia. And on top of that, I've also appointed as this VSWP, Volunteer Support Working Party, since 2021, and it will be 3 years term until 2023. So this is appointed by IET UK. So this is the time that I got a lot of opportunities to interact with IET UK staff, right? And also some of the volunteers throughout the globe. So I have a lot of fun time, engaging with different people, different meetings, so you learn from each other, and I also pick up a lot of new skills, even though I'm already in the engineering line for more than 10 years. Yeah, I always keep myself, very keen to learn new things. Okay, because this is the only way for us to survive in the industry world, and also for students and also young engineers. I think even for growing business, you have to know what is happening in the world, right? Not only studying about the degree that you already have in the 4 years program, but you also need to have a lifelong learning spirit. Okay, apart from that, I also involved in IEM. IEM is more localized platform for NGO, and recently I was elected as a committee member as IEM Electronic Engineering Division. And I also involved in IEEE. IEEE is more on the specific technical topic sharing. So I was involved in the Penang Joint chapter and also the Instrumentation and Measurement chapter. Right, so what is my journey in IET so far? I feel that it's very interesting, and a lot of things unexpected, because we volunteer ourselves from starting from the local level, Malaysia level, and then we have opportunity to get exposed to the UK level as well. So this is a picture showing me that I was traveling in UK when I was recognized as this Fletcher Award in year 2018. Okay, I wouldn't say it's only my own recognition. It's the recognition towards the whole team of YPS Malaysia, that to get this recognition is not myself alone. So I believe all of you have opportunity to be nominated as this Fletcher Award. When you put on a lot of efforts, time, and adding values to all your committee members. Okay, so I think since I got this award in 2018, I have been nominating quite a few potential candidates, and I think several of these successors has already received this award, and then we have also upcoming potential candidates as well. Okay, so I hope this will keep you all motivated, and not only doing some small events, but there's also opportunity to get yourself exposed at the international level. Okay. All right. So along my journey, I met wonderful people, and also my mentor, which is Rocky Wong. Rocky Wong is my board engineer mentor. He's already 80 plus years old, but he still spent a lot of time with young engineers, young people, to inspire and help them along this engineering journey. So it was very lucky to meet Rookie as my mentor, and currently I'm doing my conversion to get my professional engineer status. And the picture on the right shows the committee picture, when we taken at the studio. I think probably you will think that this is the very old-fashioned photo. Yeah. But that was the tradition of IET YPS last time, where every term they got a chance to take this photo. When you look back, 10 years time, a few years time, you feel that, hey, I'm very proud to be part of the team. And then, starting with a different journey, exploring, networking with different people. So I think you all will appreciate each other and network with each other, within this community as well. Okay, so I think Dr. Ivan touched about leadership just now. Maybe I can just share what for my understanding, what is about leadership. Okay, so this is not everything about leadership, but just a bit from my learning. Okay, so this slide I got it from John Maxwell. John Maxwell is famous of promoting leadership at the international level. And what he says is that there are 5 levels of this leadership, right? Because when you come to this new committee, you don't know each other, right? And the first day you will say, hey, to get used to this first thing is what is about IET, because I believe some of you are quite new, and then you need to learn more about what is the IET. And also, your first day you will know about the name of the person sitting beside you, but you might not know the whole team name, right? So the first one is about the position. Okay, when you are sitting in this committee, you are the first level, right? But you are starting to climb up this leadership level, okay, to make it to become effective leader. So the next one is permission. Okay, so first one is the position is they have to do it because I ask you, then you say, oh, okay, I assign this task to you. Say, okay, so nobody is doing that, I have to do it. So you don't feel the motivation, right? So the next level is that, hey, you feel that you want to do it. Okay, you want to try something different. Okay, so you look at your leader saying that, hey, Dr. Ivan, I think I want to try, right? It's different than, hey, I'm sitting there, hopefully not calling my name. Okay, this is the next level because you feel that you're part of the team, right? And then you start to feel that, hey, this is something that I need to support as because I'm in the team, right? And I think this one, you can also see this when you are in the university level, when you are talking about a team assignment, right? Always you have a leader. If you're lucky, you have a leader, and then so leader will start to distribute the work, right? But how many times that you see your members in the team volunteer themselves to take up, hey, I want to take up this, I'm the first one, I want to take up this topic, for example. But it's very rare, right? Because everyone start to come to this team very new, and it takes time to build the relationship. But it's okay. Okay, this is part of the process of the leadership. Okay, and the production. Okay, so when you take up something and you want to deliver it, right, you have to be productive, right? You cannot say that, hey, I'm taking this event. The timeline is next month, but I think that I can only deliver next year. So there's a big gap, right? So you have to make sure that whatever you take, the task, you have to follow up closely, and then to be productive. Then you start to see the result. Okay, you start to see the result. Okay, so the next one is about people development. So once you have successfully done something, then your peers will look at you and say that, hey, I might want to, learn something from you. And I might want to pass down my success story to my other team member, right? So this is the next level. Okay, the last level will be the respect, right? Because you're looking at someone as a leader, hey, you give me direction, I will become a good follower, and I will make sure the project is complete on time, and then I also transfer and pass down my knowledge to the team member, so that the whole team can work together. Because you not only have one event throughout the year, right? YPS always have more than 5 events. Just now I look at your agenda, right? Okay, so one person you cannot, it's the team, right? So you have to start to, hey, I finished mine already. How can I help the second and the third person to do it, right? Okay, so you don't feel like, hey, I've done my job. I can rest for the rest of the term. But it's not the case because you are in the team, right? So in this volunteer organization, we always try to inspire each other, motivate each other. Because here we are not getting paid, right? You're not getting paid here, but you get this a very special platform for you to learn your soft skill and also try to learn about leadership role. Okay, the next time I'm going to talk about is so to be a leader you have to lead yourself first, right? Okay, because when you want to do something you have to be passionate yourself, something that you feel that you want to do it in order to complete the task. So according to Stephen Covey, there are 7 habits of high effective people. So I believe this will be a good start for you. Okay, because always we think of, hey, I want to be a leader. But you cannot say that, hey, I want to be a leader, the next day you will become a leader, right? You have to follow up on different things, learn on different things. Okay. First one is to be proactive. Yeah, when just now when Dr. Ivan said, hey, we have so many activities going on, and how many of you want to take up the position? So the first one is proactive. I think I can take out the first one. Okay, so you start the ball rolling. Okay, at least you become the first leader, right? You don't always think about yourself. It's just a committee, because when you start a project, you become a leader, right? Like Peter, what he's doing is organizing this team building, so he take the lead, right? He is proactive in a lot of things, right? First thing is this spirit of the proactive. The second is begin with the end in mind. So when you're studying engineering, always we have a feedback system. Feedback, how good is that? Anything that we have to improve. Okay, closing the loop is very important. So you have to start an event to make sure that you have finished on time. I think last week we have finished this IET Reconnect event Northern region, and I just completed the event report a few days ago. So it's a very it's a very fruitful session when you go through a project in the voluntary organization in IET. Right? And if you need support, don't hesitate to ask for help. Okay, it's very important. And then put first thing first. Okay, so this is not only applying in voluntary organization when you're a student or you started in your engineering work at the beginning of the career. Okay, you always need to know what is your priority. What is a priority means that what is your boss priority, what is your lecturer priority, and which is your deadline. Okay, which one is priority? You have to do it first, right? You cannot do everything because there's always a lot of things in your list. Okay, especially students, you have so many subjects, right? And then you have to look at assignment, where is the deadline, what is your priority. And for engineers, I think the most important one is the beginning of the week. Okay, you turn on your calendar and you have to know what is happening in the following 5 days. Because if you don't know, then your boss come here, hey, why you didn't turn up in the meeting? And then boss will ask you, what have you prepared for your meeting? You cannot say, but student time is okay, like maybe a lecturer is okay. They're okay, fine with that. But when you come to industry, it's an environment that is very competitive, right? Because you have a team working with you and you rely on your contribution, right? Okay. And then, think a win-win situation, because let's say you are working in the industry. I think most of you already done internship before. How many of you haven't done internship before? Internship, right? Okay, so it's a different feeling compared to university, right? Because you have to be there on time and then get the things delivered by your supervisor, even though maybe you are just helping, assisting as assistant beside the engineer. But engineer always they will give you different expectation. Okay, so you have to think of win-win situation, because a lot of time you need to communicate, right? Because one industry company, they have a lot of departments. Okay, maybe you are just working under this design department, and then you have to communicate with different teams, right? So always you have to think of a solution where you get a win-win situation from all the parties. Okay, it's very important, because if you only think about yourself, always win about yourself, then you don't really get support from other team. Okay, it's the same thing like what you are doing as a volunteer. Okay, you once you finish our task, then you can also help others, so that you get a win-win situation, and don't give people too tight timeline, saying that, hey, okay, can we get this done by 1 week or 2 weeks later? Okay, because everyone has their different priorities, and then we have to give ample time for each other, right? Okay, so seek the first understand than to understood. Okay, so always you have to understand what you are doing, right? Because you go to the meeting in the industry environment, the boss will ask you to explain, right? Maybe sometimes he will back up you, but a lot of time the first one you need to understand is yourself, right? There's 2 more to go. Synergize. Okay, so this is because we are in this team environment, so you have to synergize and motivate your team members as well. Okay, just like here YPS, you help each other, you support each other, inspire you. When there's a problem you face, you solve together, right? Okay, so you don't work alone, and don't hesitate to get help from each other. The last one is sharpen the saw, right? So let's say if we graduated today with 4 years degree program, but if you go into industry and you're expecting that, hey, whatever I have studied is enough for the entire career, you are absolutely wrong, right? Okay, even myself, I have to learn a lot of things. I have to do a lot of trainings at this moment of my career. So don't stop about your learning. Okay, try to engage with different people, attend different workshops and talk. Okay, sharpen your knife so that your supervisor or your lecturer, when you're doing this, they will feel that you are different than others. Okay, so I think that's all I have. Yeah, thank you for your listening.
Are you open for questions?
Yes, yeah. Actually, I have two presents I bring today. Maybe you can pass me my bag.
Okay.
To get everyone motivated. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Okay, so I bought these 2 books from bookshop. Okay, so I think I'll offer 2 questions because the third one don't have a price. Okay, so yeah, I open for question. I'll give the present to someone who asks the question. Yeah, even a simple question is fine. It's just for the engagement session. Okay, I hope you learn something from my sharing as well.
Let me start.
Okay.
Okay, let me start. Dr. John,
Yeah.
how has your chartered engineer during your lecturing times transitioned you back to industry? How does that experience change your journey? Yeah.
Okay. So when we become a chartered engineer, there's 5 areas that we have to fulfill. Okay, starting from knowledge, and then you talk about project management, budget control, and then followed by presentation skill, and also the lastly is about contribution to the society. So a lot of time we look at the whole picture, the career growth of ourselves. Transition from academic line to industry, we have to do a lot of adjustment. Okay, especially in terms of the knowledge side, you have to catch up to the latest development in the industry. So I spent a lot of time doing a lot of studies myself, research myself. During office hours, I still need to do a lot of study. Okay, I also managed to publish some papers during my industry time, even I exit from academic line. Yeah. So a lot of lifelong learning after I finish my PhD. So I would encourage every one of you, to continue to learn, and then don't hesitate to get help from some of your friends who have this different knowledge. Okay, right? Okay, look, which one you can choose?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So this book is actually helping you to transform and jumpstart yourself in different areas. I think I bought 2 books. One is about your thinking, and the other one is about priorities. Okay, setting priorities in life, how you change yourself in 90 days. Alright? Okay, I still have one more present to give away. Yeah, any question? Yes?
Do you find it very challenging to lead a team?
Okay, when I start to lead a new team, just like my position currently, I will start to build relationship, okay, with the team. Because when you give too much instruction, people might not be able to accept and follow it directly. Okay, so I think it's most important is to develop the relationship with the team member and the whole team, and understand what is the basic needs. Okay, if there's anything that I can accommodate, I will approach them. Okay, so make them feel like a family, right? So once they feel like family, then we can talk more about the work. Okay, because starting from building a team, it will take time, right? It will take maybe a few days to a few months up to a few years, because building a relationship is not like you come from your own family, you are building another new family. So it will take time to build it. Okay, just like what I've shown just now, the 5 important levels. We start from there, then we start to see the transformation of team member. Starting from the taking instruction, and then they will think that, hey, I want to do it. I want to start to volunteer themselves, and then producing results. Okay, because it takes time also to produce result. You cannot say that, hey, I start this project and tomorrow I will see the result. It won't happen overnight. Okay, so once you reach that level, that is the first milestone. Then after that, you can try to guide and coach the team how to add value to your other team member. Then the rest will follow. And then the last but not is also very important is respect. Okay, we give them ample time, we provide them resources, and then we always check out with them. I always check with my engineer every week. I ask them, hey, what have you done this week? Any achievement that you have done? And then any delays that you face, let me know. And what are helps that you needed? Okay, by that week time, I will tell them, hey, if you need any help, I will just provide you the resources. So it's a long journey, but you have to start from the building relationship. I hope you get some point. Alright? Okay.